Hi, everyone. My name is Lyle Benjamin, and I am the founder and executive director of the nonprofit educational organization, Planned Acts of Kindness. And I want to welcome you to the first of many different discussions that we're going to have in the month of April for Sirem, which is Social Institutional Reform and Equality Month. And today we're going to be talking about Planned Acts of Kindness, and how our programs can operate in conjunction with Sirem in order to provide quality of life for people around the planet. And we have a very mixed group of participants on our panel discussion today. But these are all members of our professional success team and our college success team. And they're going to go ahead and introduce themselves very quickly to you. And then we're going to go ahead and get started with content, because it's all about education plus action in order to achieve the objectives that we want in the world. And that's quality of life for everyone, regardless of what country you're from, regardless of your education, your income, your gender, your age, right? Your religious identity, right? We're all equal. We have one planet. We got one people on the planet. And if we're going to solve the global social issues, we've got to start collaborating and working together on the grassroots level and also on the institutional level. And that's what Planned Acts of Kindness, the One Planet, One People movement, of which Sirem is part of, right, is all about. So I welcome you to go ahead and not only listen to, right, to what we're talking about, but to go ahead and get our app from our website, plannedacts.org, and get involved, get informed, be the hero, right, in your own community, whether it's on a local, national, or global basis, right? It doesn't matter, right, where you're from, like I said, what your educational background is, what your income is, right? You can go ahead and make a difference in this world. And actually, we need you to, okay? So welcome. Today's the kickoff for Sirem. And be sure to tune in, right, every day for additional content, and let's hear from you. And there's a variety of ways that you can go ahead and do very short videos in order to make a difference, and you're going to learn about those over the next few days as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hear from Jackie, who's our global specialist. So Jackie, you're
Thank
up.
you, Lyle. I appreciate it very much. It's such a pleasure to be with this group because of my background in connecting people all over the globe. And I've had many affiliate groups that I've worked with to be able to really increase love, prosperity, and peace. When I began all of a sudden to realize the actual focus and mission of PAC and One Planet, One People, I realized that this was a way to bring us all together. So my part in this is to bring us all together, is to bring together all of the parties that might not have been able to talk to each other, to collectively make a difference systematically, which is something that we just don't see anywhere else. We have nonprofits and all different types of organizations who do their own little thing, and that's wonderful in their sphere of influence. But when you bring it together as an entire team, it really makes a very heartfelt and permanent difference. And that's what PAC is attempting and will be doing starting now and forevermore until we all get together and, so to speak, hold hands. So I am very blessed to be able to bring the people that come onto my path onto this path so that we really can work this together. And it's such an honor and a pleasure to be with these young faces on the screen today, because I begin to realize how beautiful it is that they are concerned about changing our world and making it a better place. So I thank you very much for being the global specialist in that anything to do with peace and bringing us to one planet and one people, let me know.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Okay, so next up, we're going to hear from Robert Adamo. And Robert has a little technical issues with the computer. So we're just going to go ahead and stare at his face when he talks.
So at least the picture finally got up.
Yes.
Okay, here's the weirdest thing. That's not the picture that I put up.
Okay. And we're not going to tell you what Robert does because it's embarrassing.
I'm the web developer and IT
Webmaster.
manager, so to say. I joined Lyle and Plan X of Kindness several years ago through a mutual friend who was working there, and been helping Lyle develop programs and websites and all the goodness that we've put together. He's done obviously a lot of the heavy lifting, but I've been also one behind the scenes to just help out with ideas and go over the fine details of, do we do A or do we do B? And I say B and he does A anyway. So, but I'm at least there to be the sounding board in a lot of cases and at least make the decision one way or the other in certain things. I've always been one to look to help other people and want to bring people together to help each other. And so when I found Planet Acts of Kindness, it really resonated with me as far as helping people live together, work together, and be social together in a kind and loving way rather than always looking for, oh, I got to be better than this person, which comes from a lot of jealousy and a lot of, uh, the not so good traits that some people have. Like we all have good and bad, I guess, as the old saying goes. It's really what you allow yourself to act on. Just because you have a bad feeling about somebody or something doesn't mean that you have to act on it. You could just have that feeling and just still walk away and let that person just be that person. And so I was raised, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. And I want to take that one step further. If you don't have something nice to say, find something nice to say.
And that's where
And
actually, Robert, that's where
right.
planned acts of kindness comes in with the daily, planned acts of kindness that you can do with your friends, family, coworkers, and in the community. And it's just touching on those things where people are doing whatever that normally might push your buttons. Well, there's a different behavior that you can go ahead and do in order to respond to that. That will make a difference not only in your own life, but in that person's and your sphere, the people who are watching, right? And seeing that type of interaction and knowing that, wow, this is now being handled differently and it's a much more positive way of moving forward. And that's a very important thing that you touched on, in that we all need to go ahead and be more open to other people. And it doesn't mean that you've got to accept everything that someone's doing, but in terms of how you respond to it really makes a difference. And if you respond with positivity, okay, and if you're always reaching out to others, what you're doing is you're really building better relationships with other people, deeper relationships with other people. And when you're taking action on things on a consistent basis, what you're doing is strengthening your community as well. And those are the two key things to planned acts of kindness in terms of the benefits and quality of life, right? Deeper relationships with your fellow your neighbors, so to speak, whether they're local, national, or global, and then also a stronger sense of ties to your community as well. So thank you very much for sharing, and we'll get into the actual programs in just a little bit. Let's hear from some of the college success team people that are in our internship mentorship program, our volunteer program as well. So Shreyas, how would you like to go first?
Hello, my name is Shreyas, and I'm currently a student at Brandeis University, and I'm also interning at Planned Acts of Kindness from Pune, India. And I heard about Planned Acts of Kindness through a friend of mine who was also interning at the time, and I saw the work they were doing, I liked it, and I wanted to be a part of it. So that's why I also joined as an intern.
Okay, and what does Planned Acts of Kindness mean to you?
Yeah, Planned Acts of Kindness, I'd say it's like a pretty solid organization that aims to better the lives of many people around the world.
Okay, and your part in that is actually doing everything from research to outreach to engagement, right? And you're in India, where they do have a great culture of giving back. And that's one of the things that we look forward to, is strengthening our ties with other organizations, not only in India, but around the world. And when we have people on the ground in those countries, whether they're ambassadors, peace laureates, deputy peace laureates, which you'll learn about in just a little bit, those are the things that really make a difference, is personal grassroots participation as well as institutional participation, and the ability of our programs to be customized for the different countries that we go into, because what works in the United States may not work in India. What works in India may not work in China. So the thing is that in our programs, we also have the ability to go ahead and customize, be flexible in order to achieve the outcomes, which is really quality of life. So thank you, for the work that you do, Shreyas, right? And we continue to develop and be successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Lyle.
Okay, next up, Richard.
Hello, everybody. My name is Richard Rodriguez, and I am a student at University at Buffalo, and I'm currently an intern at Planned Acts from New York in the United States. And Planned Acts means a lot to me because as a minority in the country, my parents are from Puerto Rico. I feel that you kind of see the world from a different point of view in certain aspects. And Sirem really resonates with me because I want the world to be a more collaborative and accepting place for everybody, regardless of what structures you have. And I really like to be a part of helping sculpt that world.
Thank you. And Richard is involved in human resource management with our organization. So he goes ahead and does sometimes orientations with incoming students, as well as keeping everyone up to date on what's going on in the organization, and really being a connector between people. So thank you, Richard. Okay. And I apologize, I have COVID-19. And so if I cough or whatever during a meeting, the good thing is that I'm alive and well and on the road to recovery. But I apologize if I sometimes have to go ahead and deal with the issues from COVID. So thank you. Okay, next up, Prama.
Yes. Hello everyone. My name is Rama Kalilker, and I'm from Brandon University, majoring in biochemistry. However, I'm really interested in the health development department of plant kindness. After completing around 6 months of my internship, I've truly enjoyed my time. Basically doing all kinds of jobs. So researching the mental health care system, as well as several different issues into mental health. However, I've truly enjoyed being able to actually be working as like a manager within Plans of Kindness. Particularly because when I was younger, as you can see right now, it's kind of obvious. But I had a stammer for the last 18 years of my life, and unfortunately, that had a really hard toll on my life. And I never, although I did care about myself, I always wanted to. I never really had it in me to basically do more, because I felt like I couldn't do more because of my stammer. However, thanks to Lyle and Jackie, I truly enjoy being able to not only improve myself, working not only in Project Cope, but also with a bit of safety for COVID-19, but also help other interns along the way, basically managing them, and kind of improving them to be as successful as we want. Personally, I'm going to be hopefully going into a med school next fall, and I'm really hoping to bring my experiences from Planet Acts of Kindness to not only improve people's lives through social institutional reform equality month, but also use what I've learned to my research with Planet X to further inspire people to make changes in the lives. So I'm very thankful for Planet X of Kindness for everything it's given to me, and I'm very happy to see everyone here. So yes, so thank you for your time.
Well, thank you, Brahma. And it's really been over the last 7-8 months a pleasure getting to know Brahma and seeing his growth and development from someone who was reluctant to even speaking at meetings and sharing, to someone now who is one of the first who wants to volunteer to go ahead and lead meetings. And you know, the confidence that he's gotten through, you know, the development of the programs that we work is really gratifying to me, because he's such a wonderful person. And you know, what's one of the commonalities of the people who get involved with Planned Acts of Kindness is that they all really have good hearts. They really do care about other people, and you know, they volunteer their time to go ahead and use their time, energy, skills in helping other people. So it's tremendously appreciated, tremendously valuable to the organization, and it's very gratifying when we can actually help them develop even further in terms of what their objectives are, whether they're on our professional success team, whether they're on our college success team, regardless, right? This is what we're working for, and it's for you, and it's for providing that quality of life. So thank you for all that you do, Brahma. Okay, you're going to make a tremendous addition to the medical community because of your heart, and you know, we need more people like that, okay, in professions all across, you know, the world. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Xavier, you're up. And you got to undo your audio, right? And this is great, because this is always a great learning experience sometimes when someone who's involved in doing social media content, right, then has to go ahead and be reminded to go ahead to unmute themselves, right, in order to be heard. So another learning experience.
Hi, my name is Xavier. I live in New York City in the United States, and my involvement with PAC started around a month ago. So what brought me to the organization was, I had read about what they were doing as far as their mission on, well, first of all, to backtrack, I'm a graduate of the Cooper Union School for the Advancement of Science and Art, class of 2018. So I've been looking for a meaningful work experience, and when I saw what Planned Acts of Kindness was offering through Handshake, as far as their message of one planet, one people, bringing everyone together in the world, regardless of gender, age, race, language, country of origin, all these things that I really do think are very important, especially now, considering the climate of the world, especially speaking as an American now. It's, it just seems like there's just so much heat going around now. And well, I'm just happy to be able to feel like I can make a difference now as part of the work that I'm doing with PAC. And also speaking on what, Richard had mentioned earlier, as a minority here in this country, not from Puerto Rico, but just to the west, to the Dominican Republic, where my parents are from. So, definitely all the programs at IMPACT, really do resonate with me as far as, what I want to do when I want to help people do, come together, regardless of, the things I mentioned earlier, gender, race, country of origin, all the above.
Okay, very nice. And Xavier is actually doing social media content through development of TikTok videos. And we might be sharing one of those a little bit later in our program today. And, he's come a long way in terms of his development and his professionalism. And you'll be very happy to see the results of that in the coming month, from all the different types of videos that he'll be sharing, and that also he'll help you share through our app and through YouTube and TikTok and all those good platforms. So we'll be releasing basically new TikTok videos on a daily basis, and you'll be finding out how you can even participate no matter where you are in the world. And it doesn't have to be in English. You can be doing it in whatever language you speak. So that's great. And we'll get to that later. We're going to go ahead and be joined now from one of our professional success team members, Kumba, who is just connecting to audio because she had an appointment that she had to take care of a little bit earlier. So she's joining us now. And if I keep going ahead and talking, then the audio will be able to come on. So Kumba, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Okay, great. So Kumba is one of our most distinguished members of our professional success team, and not everybody is on this call today. We have a lot of other people involved in the organization on the professional level, as well as our advisory level, and also our college success team. But Kumba is going to introduce herself and the work that she's doing through Planned Acts of Kindness, and how valuable that is to people in the world. So Kumba, please introduce yourself.
I'm Kumba Marena, and as Len said, I'm part of the team trying to facilitate, to assist Lyle in whatever he's doing, except for the graphics, which I'm not good at. And also to talk to people about the Planned Act of Kindness and how kindness can change the whole world. Also the ambassador for Africa. So I'm trying as much as possible for Africa to understand what we are doing in PAC, and also to appreciate that we live in one planet and therefore we are one people. So together we can make it, we can make changes, and we can also develop the continent by just being kind to our hearts, kind to ourselves, and kind to each other. In essence, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not like Jackie, who is the expert connector. I'm learning from her, but I'm trying as much as possible.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna step in because you're being way too modest for this particular situation. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you a little bit about Kumba's background, okay? Because, you know, for 30, 40 years, she was involved with the United Nations and different ministries of education and health for various countries in Africa. And she is an extremely capable individual who has influenced the course of, you know, public policy, government policy in multiple countries around the world. And fortunately for us, she's ended up in the United States through her travels. And even though she's just retired from the United Nations with a lifetime of dedicated service, she thought enough about the programs that we do and how important and valuable they are, and the impact that she can have on not only the continent of Africa, but on people all over the world. So she is our first continent level ambassador, and some of her responsibilities are bringing in ambassadors to other countries in Africa, and then making sure that they understand the connection between the grassroots of the people that we help and work with to the institutions that we go ahead and collaborate with. And she has brought in a tremendous number of very high level people into our organization who are now becoming ambassadors and peace laureates, and who are moving the programs forward. So she may be a very modest person, but we are a very appreciative organization to have someone of her caliber involved in what we do. So thank you, Kumba, right, for everything that you do.
Welcome.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and go through quickly some of the programs that are used in order to achieve the objectives of social institutional reform. And with Sirem, this is the debut, right, for what's going to be going on in the month of April. But because these issues are so important and so critical to people around the world, we are doing Sirem twice a year, and we'll be doing it again in September. And, you know, a lot of the things that we do, they're not random acts of kindness. They're planned acts, and we have systems in order to go ahead and scale up in order to get the participation that we need around the world to make the changes that have to happen in order to provide quality of life. So this is going to be a time where we're going to go ahead and share a lot about, you know, our philosophy, about our programs. And then moving forward, this video will be available as an introduction to anyone who wants to learn more about what we're doing. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to share my screen, however messy that is, and we'll get started. Okay, so Planet Acts of Kindness has the One Planet, One People movement which is comprised of 4 different pillars: civility, social responsibility, volunteerism, and global citizenship. And we are at the tipping point for humanity, and this decade will determine the quality of life for billions of people. And the time for division is over. We're using a fractional approach to solving global social issues, and it simply doesn't work. And the pandemic has pointed this out in a very, very real and devastating way. If we would have been collaborating on approaches that we needed to stay safe around the globe, we could have prevented literally millions of deaths, right? Millions of people getting sick, millions of disruption, right, to people's livelihood around the world. And we really sincerely hope that the lessons that the 5 institutions need to learn, right, is collaboration. So starting today, we're launching a program called 100 Organizations in 100 Days. And the focus of the program is collaboration, because we must collaborate to succeed. We must collaborate to survive. So Planned Acts of Kindness works with what we call our 5x5. We help 5 groups of individuals: students, employees, owners, retirees, and the unemployed. And we collaborate with 5 different types of institutions: schools, faith-based, NPOs and NGOs around the world, governments and businesses. And there's a lot of different areas that we go into: health and well-being, civility and kindness, equality and social justice, education and career development, work and family benefits, and of course, global citizenship. So our goals for 2021, 2022 are to be in all countries around the world with our programs. And in each country, we're going to have not only the ambassadors, but we're going to have 4 peace laureates who are charged with bridging the gap between, right, the grassroots people that we help and the institutions that we work with from the top down in order to provide quality of life. So we'll have 2 youth peace laureates, 2 adult peace laureates per country, and that is open to everyone in the world, regardless of what country they're in, right? It's actually dependent on what country they're in. So if you know someone that might be suitable to be a peace laureate or even a deputy peace laureate in our programs, be sure to recommend, okay? And our goal is to have tens of millions of people engaged in our programs. So we work on an organizational level and we work on an individual influencer level. And the only thing that you need is that you have a desire that you want to go ahead and help others. And then you can be the hero. So we work on national and global communities. We work with employees. We have HR programs for engagement, collaboration, team building, and benefits, because we need to go ahead and have our programs available wherever there's people in need. And it doesn't matter how great your life has been, how successful you are, something suddenly can come along and turn it all upside down in a heartbeat. And if you don't have the systems in place to go ahead and give you, right, the relationships and the community support that you need, your quality of life is going to be affected. And that's one of the biggest lessons that we learned from this pandemic. We need to go ahead and understand we're part of a global community, and what happens somewhere affects what happens in other places. And we have to start collaborating together. So we have multiple programs in order to go ahead and help educate, help people be proactive, change their behaviors so that they can have that quality of life. So we have our books, we have our web programs, our apps, we have our fun activity engagement programs, and we also have events like Sirem, Social Institutional Reform. In April this month, we're going to be having a program, COVID-19 Memorial Day, where we focus on loved ones who were lost, but what they meant to the world. And it's important that those people be recognized. Our One Planet, One People Club events and other activities as well. So at the basis of planned acts of kindness is the Karma Club. And the Karma Club is a global social responsibility platform where every day people wake up and they've got a new daily planned act of kindness that they can do with their friends, family, coworkers, and in their community. And what we did was we gamified the positive aspects of karma. So there are 4 different monthly activities that you can do. You can do your daily planned acts. You can do engagement with other people. You can do volunteerism, no matter where you are in the world, through our programs, and you can do support. And when you do these to certain levels of achievement, you then are eligible for free gifts that we give away. Our goal at the end of this year, 2021, is to be giving away hundreds of gifts daily to random people in the Karma Club who have leveled up. And the Karma Club, again, works with 5 groups of people and the 5 types of organizations in alignment with the 4 pillars of the One Planet, One People movement, which are civility, social responsibility, volunteerism, and global citizenship. All of our programs are fully aligned with the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So if you have an interest in any of the UN SDGs, right, come into our organization, learn how our programs, right, work in order to help solve those issues. So goal number 1 for the Karma Club is to be in all 200 countries with tens of millions of people around the world doing the same planned act of kindness on the same day, on unleashing that much positive, powerful energy into the world. Goal number 2 is having members of the Karma Club collaborate on common causes with a common purpose. The problems of the world are not going to be solved by governments and corporations alone. They're going to be solved by ordinary people working together on common causes with a common focus. And some of the most pressing issues that we have to go ahead and work to solve are the tipping point issues of climate change, pollution, pandemics, war, terrorism, overpopulation. Any of these things will affect quality of life for billions of people on the planet. And as we've seen, the fractional approach doesn't work. And it's not going to work in the future. So we've got to go ahead and collaborate. So during the month of April, May, June, we're putting together 100 different organizations that will pledge to collaborate. And you can be working in one of those organizations. You can go ahead and recommend to that organization that they join us on our mission of quality of life. So everything we do is designed to go ahead and be engaging and taking action. So whether it's the Karma Club, the One Planet, One People clubs, Project COPE, these are how we go ahead and get our programs into the world in order to help people change their behavior so that they can have better quality of life. Because it's not about how much money you make. It's not about, you know, how many toys you have. It's not about the drugs that you might take. It's really about the quality of your relationships and, right, your strength and ties to your community. And in this case, we're talking about local, national, and global communities. We are all in this together, but it's not just words, it's actions that make the difference. So we have the programs in order to go ahead and get people to take the actions for quality of life. One of our main components is our book programs. So we are launching a series of books. This was delayed, unfortunately, by COVID-19, but this summer we'll be introducing several 16 Things We All Can Do to Act Right and Help Save the Planet books with special editions, including on issues like mental health. So it features solutions and action plans by 32 of the best and brightest experts, plus free access to workshops and clubs. With our 16 Things book series, what happens is everyone who has the book can be a part of a One Planet, One People workshop that that you go into the issues that are framed in the book. And then you have a discussion group, whether it's in person, whether it's on Zoom, with members, right, of that workshop. And what you're doing is you're taking action on the issues from the book, but you're also building deeper relationships with team members that can last a lifetime and really provide you with a support system for quality of life. And the same is true because what you're doing is you're deepening your ties to your local, national, and global communities through the actions that you're taking. So that's our book series, 16 Things, and you can go ahead and get involved. We customize books for organizations, whether they're schools, whether they're faith-based, whether they're NPO or NGOs, or even governments and businesses. So we're all, you know, if we're of working age, involved in different companies and organizations around the world, get in contact with us, learn how we can help with whatever those objectives are through our books and our workshop and our app programs. This April, we're also releasing Legacy Lifelines Memorial Special Edition, which allows people to create a keepsake to keep the memories and the joy of a loved one who has passed alive. And one of our goals through our 100 organizations in 100 days is to collaborate with those companies in order to make the book available for free to anyone who has lost a loved one due to COVID-19. And this is a way for people to go ahead and create use a step-by-step guide to creating that keepsake and helping themselves and their family and even future generations, right, heal from the loss of their loved one while keeping that memory, those memories and the joy of that person's life alive for generations. So this is available, you know, for if you know people who have lost loved ones, if you want to bring it to your organization, and we can even go ahead and have them custom branded for companies and faith-based and whatever in order to get them out there, right, to help people. The Working Dead is our financial literacy and planning program because unfortunately, we don't always learn the concepts that we need to, and we don't learn what we need to have in our financial foundation in order to have quality of life, not only in retirement, but also throughout our life and even for our children. This is unfortunately something that's not taught very well at our institutions because they concentrate on the Wall Street way of how business works. And unfortunately, Wall Street works for Wall Street, not for, right, the majority of people in this country. And we provide financial education, planning services in order to help people get the foundation that they need in order to have quality of life. So it doesn't matter whether you're working for minimum wage, doesn't matter whether you're making six-figure income. There are things that you need to know, things that you need to do in order to provide for yourself, your family, and your future. So we have educational programs like Money Matters Mastery in order to teach these things to people, and we can come into institutions and organizations and faith-based in order to provide the very necessary education and action programs in this area. And again, it's part of our mission. We don't charge for what we do. Our mission is to help. Okay, so be in touch. Now, one of the main areas that we're introducing is our One Planet, One People clubs, working for equality of life through planned acts of kindness. And we need your help. We need your support in building the One Planet, One People clubs around the world. Our goal, like we talked about before, is to have our clubs, right, in every continent, in every country by the end of the year. And the clubs go ahead and bring people in regardless of their age, their education, their background, and based upon their interests, they can work on programs that we go ahead and use for providing quality of life. So if they're interested in doing art, music, dance, right, they can use those interests in order to go ahead and create engagement and action on the part of others. They can work on our book programs, on our courses, on our activity programs, on events, and we even have game development right through what we do. So that's our One Planet, One People club program. And what we're also launching through the educational system around the world are two different paths that youth can take. And one path is Education for Equality of Life. It's our EQL program, and that's age-based, where depending on your age, your school will provide a monthly master calendar, and you can spend 5 minutes out of your day in school doing planned acts of kindness, learning what you need to do that day, and then implementing when you can. And as you get older, then we increase the number of opportunities you have through our programs to do outreach, engagement, and inspiration for other people around the world. And we deal with everything from civility and kindness to equality of life for all, health and well-being issues, social justice, gender, racial tolerance, collaboration skills, and global issues in the programs that we'll be providing to schools around the world. So the thing is, if you're in a school as a student, if you're in a school as an administrator or an educator, right, get in touch with us so that you can go ahead and help bring our educational quality of life programs into your school system. Everything we're doing is all about action. You know, I went to law school in order to help people because when I was growing up, I had a difficult childhood, and I started working when I was 11 years old, and I met people through the work that I did in the floral design industry in New York City. And those people, right, took an interest in me and helped me tremendously. And I moved to Florida shortly thereafter. And even though I had a difficult home life, I met people, not only teachers, parents of friends, but I also was working. And those people helped me tremendously. And I knew I couldn't repay them directly. So I wanted to go to law school in order to help people. So I went to law school, but I took contracts, and I unfortunately didn't learn to write a contract until I was out of law school. So the thing is, sometimes our educational system doesn't always provide us with the skills that we need, the collaboration, relationship development that we need in order to go ahead and have that quality of life. So we're going to be introducing very quick ways where students of all ages can participate. And the thing is that we have very simple systems, so it doesn't take any time really to implement and take away from other important educational things that the school is doing. But then we also have the ability to have One Planet, One People clubs go through the school system where they provide a much more intensive opportunity for people to participate regardless of their age. So they can be participating in Karma Clubs, our books, workshop, course program, our crazy ambitious activities, right? Internship, mentorship programs, Project Cope, our wellness, right? Program, Sirem, what we're talking about for the next month, social institutional reform, and also the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So either way that the schools want to go is perfectly fine. The main thing is that we start teaching the principles of civility and kindness at an early age, right, to people, and then following that through in their development. You know, the lack of civility in this world, even in our country, even in our states, even in our communities, right? These are things that we're not born with. These are things that we develop over time because of whatever we're exposed to that resonates. And the thing is that there is no place in the world for things like, you know, intolerance based on religion or race, right, or gender. So the thing is, we have one planet, we got one people on the planet, and if we're going to hope to survive and have quality of life, we've got to start changing our behaviors. And we need to get the youth involved from an early age where they get to see the benefits, they get to live the benefits of civility and kindness. And that's what our programs are designed to go ahead and do. Get people, right, to change their behavior for the positive and have them get recognition and rewards for the things that they do that are benefiting themselves as well as others. So this educational component, right, is really critical, okay, because also it teaches people the importance of social responsibility, volunteerism, and global citizenship. So I encourage you to go ahead and learn more about this and then bring it into, right, your school systems in your community, regardless of where you are in the world. Next, we have Project Cope, and this is what we're launching also this month. And COVID-19 has brought out a lot of difficulties in life that people now face. People are feeling anxious, they're feeling isolated, they're feeling stressed, depressed. And the thing is that we have the systems to go ahead and help people with their health, their happiness, and their wellness. And by using the Karma Club and the gamification, right, of karma, we can help people develop the skills that they need in order to weather these difficulties. Because it doesn't matter how well your life has been going, whether it's for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, at any moment you can have a setback and you can be feeling any of these, right, sometimes very debilitating issues. And what we want to provide is a system of mental health that helps you cope with the stress that we all feel at different times in our life. So COVID-19, right, whether you've got it, whether a loved one's got it, or whether you're just affected by, right, you know, the behavioral changes that we've had to go through, Project Cope is a way for you to go ahead and deal with these aspects. So what you do is you simply take an assessment of your health, happiness, and wellness. It's a series of questions that you answer. That gives you the baseline. And then you start doing the activities of the Karma Club. And every 2 weeks, you retake the assessment. So over a 30, 60, 90-day period, you get to see how the changes in your behavior through what you've done in the Karma Club affect your health, happiness, and wellness. And it's quantifiable. You get to see the results, you know, on a monthly basis of how much, right, doing these simple things can really impact your life in a positive way. And we have ways for individuals to go ahead and do this through our app. You scan the QR code, you put the app onto your phone. It's called a progressive web app. It's a new cutting edge, right, app program. So it takes up no space on your phone whatsoever. So all the videos and everything and all the content of our programs that's available, right, take up no room on your phone, but give you access to all our programs. And I'll get into that in just a little bit. But if you have a family group, if you have a group of friends or a team, or if you're in a school, an institution, a nonprofit, faith-based government, right, or business, we can actually create custom branded apps for Project Cope, where your people can go through the program and have really a health and wellness program that can really make a difference in your lives. And one of the things that we do is we provide acknowledgement and rewards for people who go through the program, because that's an important aspect of, right, life. People deserve to be recognized and rewarded for the good things that they do. Okay, and one of the good things you can do, right, is having greater coping skills so that you're happier and healthier. And that's what Project Cope is about. Okay, lastly, we're going to talk about what we're all here for, and that is Sirem, social institutional reform. To make the change that we desperately need in the world, we need ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And everyone deserves the opportunity to go ahead and be heard and to do behaviors that can really make a difference in the world. And through Sirem and through our panel discussions and our program discussions, you're going to learn how you can make a difference, from doing very short videos, right, on our world video and then placing them on our world video map, where you can do the kindness civility pledge. I hereby make a pact from this day forward to go through life treating others with respect and kindness, just as I wish to be treated myself. This is Lyle Benjamin in New York City for plannedactsofkindness.org. So that 10 seconds that you take can make a difference in someone else's life. And you can do that in whatever language you speak. It goes into our world video map, and other people can drill down into the different continents, into the different countries, listen to people all over the world saying the same thing in whatever language they're speaking, in whatever nationality that they're from, because that doesn't matter. What matters is we've got one planet, we've got one people on the planet, and we're all in this together. We all have the same objective, and that's quality of life. And in order to get that, we have to start collaborating through kindness and civility, which is then the foundation for everything else in our lives. So today is our overview of Sirem and our mission. We're going to have a little bit of a wrap up in terms of a panel discussion about some of the programs. And tomorrow we're getting into a deeper dive into the programs. On Saturdays, we're dealing with our social responsibility, our One Planet, One People Club program. So you can come in, you'll be able to listen to our videos about how people are participating in the club program and what they're doing in order to go ahead and be successful and grow those in their own countries. And you'll have a way of participating as well. With all of the programs in Sirem, what we're doing is we're recording, right, our discussions, our panel, talks, and our shows and our clubs and our activities. And then that will be available on YouTube later in the day, where our goal is to get it up sometime between 3 and 6 Eastern Standard Time every day. And you'll have additional previous days always available for you to watch and to introduce to other people, because what we do is we do outreach and engagement in order to do inspiration so that people can get educated and take action on the objectives. Okay, so every day we'll be recording content for Sirem that will be posted on our YouTube channel and then also available through our website and our app. And then you can see how you want to make the difference, how you want to be the hero. So Saturdays are our One Planet, One People Club program. Sundays are the 4 pillars of One Planet, One People. So this coming week, we're going to be talking about civility. And on Monday, I'm going to be interviewing 2 people for the Karma Guide TV and radio hour on civility issues and what they do in the world, and then how that works in conjunction with Planned Acts programs. On Tuesdays, that's when we talk to our institutions about that issue. So religious organizations, they need to go ahead and practice civility regardless of religion, regardless of nationality, regardless of race, regardless of, gender, age, income. So we'll have religious leaders talking about what can be done through their organizations in conjunction with Planned Acts and One Planet, One People programs. Wednesdays are deeper dives into the issues with a panel discussion, right, on civility and on the religious organizations and on racial inequality specifically. Because this is an issue, right, of social justice that needs to be not only addressed, but we need to have solutions to that problem. And one of the things, one of the aspects, our solutions to that are early education on kindness and civility. Like we said before, right? Racial issues, right, are not things we're born with. We develop those, we, learn those behaviors. Well, we need to go ahead and be a lot more preventive in our actions so that we don't grow, an army of racists around the world. So we need to go ahead and implement and then have solutions to dealing with things so that they don't escalate later on in life. Because that's the trend. That's what's going on in the world. And we need to stop it. And we have the systems and the programs to do it. On Thursdays, we deal with career, money matters, and our everything from our financial literacy and planning program to our 8 foundation skills that we teach regardless of education. Those are collaborative skills that you need in order to move from a worker mentality to really management and leadership. And everyone in our organization develops these skills regardless of their background. So we have undergraduates, we've got master's students, we've got postgraduate students, we have people who have been in industries for decades, and we go ahead and all utilize the 8 foundation skills in order to be successful. So you can learn about that. You can learn about how you can participate in our internship and mentorship career training programs. Okay, we have those set up with numerous universities around the country, right? But they're available to people worldwide as well, direct through our organization. And we also will talk about at the end of the month, global social responsibility, career opportunities through our organization. On Fridays, that's when we get into our fun programs, our fun action programs. So everything from 100 public service announcements in 100 days, how you can go ahead and be an inspiration, how you can make a difference, how you can bring in a lot of people through social media, right, into our organization. Volunteer action programs, the Dirty Dozen. I'm not even going to tell you what that is. You're going to have to go ahead and visit it on our app, right, and see for yourself how cool that is. This is where, hey, right, it's going to go ahead and pay you not to go ahead and shave. Okay, and gentlemen, it's not the only, you're not the only ones who shave. So have fun with that program. Towards the end of the month, we're going to talk about our Crazy Ambitious Activities program, our CAP program. This program is a really, really high level program where you can go ahead and make connections, right? Build relationships, make things happen in various forms, right, throughout the world. So imagine if you go ahead and get a cereal company to put our program on the back of our cereal box that goes out to millions of people, including youth around the world. How about if you get the Pope to endorse our programs because of our twin missions of kindness and climate change? How about if you bring our programs, our Planned Acts of Kindness programs, Project COPE, into the prison system in your country to help people who are incarcerated? How about if you bring it into the educational system? How about if you get news programs to stream the daily Planned Act of Kindness on their news program? There are so many different things that you can do in order to make a huge difference in the world. And when you do some of these crazy ambitious activities program, we're going to go ahead and feature you in a book that we'll do, and also an app. And you will have a lifetime of recognition because of the impact that your behavior and your actions had and have in the world. And finally, at the end of the month, we're going to talk about our Global Ambassador Program, our Peace Laureate Program, our Deputy Peace Laureate Program, and how you can get involved to make a difference in your own country. May 1st, we'll have a moving forward panel discussion, and we'll talk about, right, how all of these programs people can take action on in order to provide quality of life. So That is Sirem that we'll do in April. In September, we'll go ahead and do everything again, but we'll also be reporting on the quantifiable aspects of what we've achieved between April and September. And you might be the focus. You might be part of the panel discussion. You might be interviewed on the Karma Guy television show. So the thing is, get involved, volunteer, okay? Doesn't matter where you are in the world. We want to hear from you. So download the web app to your phone and by scanning the QR code, and then you'll be able to go ahead and be part of our community and part of the change that needs to happen in the world. And we're going to be wrapping up quickly, but I did want to go ahead and share with you what the app looks like. So when you download the app, in the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to see our app navigation menu. And this is really great because it breaks down a lot of the programs and it gives you a lot of detailed information on those programs. So before we were talking about CAP, our Crazy Ambitious Activities program. So you can click on app on the CAP program. And again, right, to make the change we desperately need in the world, we need ordinary people doing extraordinary things. So you can read through the different activities. Okay. And you can say, I want to do this. And then you can go ahead and be the hero. This is absolutely a wonderful program to bring, right, that quality of life into the library system. If you're interested in making music, you can go ahead and do that. If you're interested, like I said, in bringing in the PAC clubs into prisons, right? Imagine getting, right, Domino's Pizza, Papa John's, Pizza Hut, whatever your favorite pizza company is, to put our information about our daily planned acts of kindness or our club program or whatever, right, on their pizza delivery boxes. Now, if you make that happen, you are definitely the hero, okay? And you'll be featured in our book, all right? You know, so there's just some crazy things that you can do in order to make a difference. And by the way, right, we want to hear from you. You have a crazy thing that you think, right, you know, needs to be done in order to get our engagement out there? Well, tell us, right? We'll help work with you in order to make it happen so you can be the hero, okay? Or we can share it with other people so they can go ahead and do. You know, there's sports teams, right? You know, you can get a major sports team, a college sports team to participate in our programs, to share information with their fan base. That's huge, okay? And we have things like challenge coins that can be customized for the for that sponsoring organization in order to help them with goodwill, outreach, you know, public relations for shareholders and stakeholders. So it's a win-win-win all the way around. So I encourage you, right, go through CAP. Sirem, right, you all know right by now about Sirem. And this is the activities that are going on for the entire month. So you can go ahead and say, hey, I want to go ahead and listen to the Karma Guy television and radio show. I want to go ahead and learn about the volunteer action programs. So you can go ahead and get set up, set up there. Okay, view, right, actual size. Okay, hey, stop doing that. Right, where's my IT guy when I need him? Rob. Okay.
I'm right here, but I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's zooming automatically. Okay, this is 100 institutions in 100 days. That starts today. You're part of an organization, right? Introduce them to what we're doing. Okay, show them the app. say, hey, we should be doing this. Okay, it's all about getting involved. Okay, so join the 100. This is all about the Karma Club and the 4 different activities that we do. Okay, so, right, my computer's so interested that it wants to give you a up close and personal view. So in here, it has the daily pack that you can do. You click on the Karma Club, every day there's a new one you can do. It tells you how, right, this particular activity is in alignment with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, okay? And you can go ahead and learn more about what you can do and the why of what you should be doing. And that's available every day through the app, okay? Whoop. Okay, and okay, this is the main programs, how we do our outreach and engagement and education and action for planned acts of kindness. So it goes into our club programs, it goes into our book programs, it goes into our courses, our crazy, right, ambitious programs, and all the other things from the Dirty Dozen, right, to 100 public service announcements in 100 days. And these things are available for all different types of organizations. So you can be in a school, you can be faith-based, you can be in an NPO, NGO around the world, and we'll provide you with the programs and the content and the system that you need in order to implement and engage. Okay, so what matters is that you actually have the desire and the determination to go ahead and do something. And that's what everything's predicated on in our organization. And that's why we have these people, as well as so many others around the world, right, who are participating because they understand the importance of what we do. So that is our introduction, right, to our programs. And obviously in the month, we'll be doing a deeper dive into how these programs can operate in order to achieve quality of life. And what I'd like to do is just hear from you all very quickly about, you know, any of the programs that we spoke about and your feelings and your thoughts about that. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with Jackie because she has to go ahead and get off very quickly. So Jackie, if you can go ahead and share a little bit of a wrap up on, you know, planned acts in our programs, and that would be wonderful. And did Jackie have to leave? Yeah, she had a hard 1:30, so.
Yeah, she may be gone.
She left 1 minute early. Okay.
I
Right?
unfortunately also
Well,
needed to
so you
go
can go,
a little while ago.
you can go next. So you can take
Okay.
over Jackie's spot. So, and then
Okay, so
go after that.
no problem. So for me, definitely the plan acts of kindness, getting that out to the public is a big focus so that others can, even if they can't do it every day, even if they do it 10 times a year, it's better than no times a year. And if we can get millions to do it, eventually it will get to where people are doing it every day. And through the practice of just choosing kindness over pretty much anything else, it will slowly start to turn the tide of the division and the basically really it's the division that has been put, whether it's again age, wealth, health, gender, and I put most of those things under just DNA. You know, the one thing that we can't control is our DNA. And we can't be judging people on the one thing they can't control, because that's just ridiculous. At least if you're going to judge somebody, judge them on what they bring to the table, what they do, how they're doing it. But to judge people on the one thing that they cannot control is, in my mind, just ridiculous, and that's what needs to end. So with that, I turn it back over to you, Lyle.
Thank you, Robert, and 100% couldn't agree. One thing that you didn't go ahead and add in, which is a divisive issue, is politics around the world, and that is something that really we need to change the culture of, where it's not you versus me, us versus them, blue versus red, or whatever it is in your country. We've got to start acting like we have one planet, one people on the planet, and we're all in this together.
Right. And somehow we got to get rid of the dictators and the people that are power hungry, because those are the people that are not really willing to let everybody else be free. So we definitely have a lot of power hungry people in the world.
Right. And we're an apolitical organization, but we work with governments regardless of, where they're at, because it's about the people. And by going ahead and changing the behaviors of the people, we can also change the behaviors of the government. So thank you for bringing that.
I quite agree with that, because you cannot, civility is really from your heart, and with compassion. And those people who are there are not seeking the interests of other people, are people who don't really belong to one people. You can be one planet because that is inevitable, but to be a one people in this planet, or on the planet, you really have to have the interests of others as well, which is not happening. And
absolutely,
we are not moving forward in this world, not only in Africa, but elsewhere as well. Asia, we have seen it there.
Right.
And elsewhere is because people are not one people. Once you're there for yourself and nobody else. Mistakes are not acceptable. I know we are apolitical, but at the same time, you cannot deal with engagement without democracy. The other thing is people's minds have to change, attitudes have to change. But once we don't change our attitudes, we don't change our behaviors, we refuse to engage, then they will just be there on their own and we have no one to blame.
And what you say, Kumba, about the democracy, is a necessary ingredient. That's really what the Karma Club does. It allows everyone to participate, regardless of where they are in the world, regardless of their education, regardless of their income, regardless of their nationality. And the second part of the Karma Club is collaboration between these people in order to get governments and companies to do what needs to be done for the benefit of kids, people, and the planet. So what it does is it really democratizes all the issues that we're dealing with climate change, with social injustice, right? With, all those issues, because it gives everyone the opportunity to have a positive voice.
Yeah, but that goes with participation. And if you're participating, you're either a passive participant or an active participant. What Karma Club is doing, I know, is to make participation be active.
Yes.
Rather than passive. Those that are in passive participation are those that are not in one planet. They are, in one planet, but are not one people.
Right.
The correlation between one planet, one people, and also good governance is really emphasized. And the Karma Club, of course, as you rightly said, takes care of that. But once you're there, you have to be active participant, not a part. That is doing things in a very, very democratic way. And
Yes.
we have seen where clubs are, and we know what the clubs turn up to be, what they are. I know the poverty also comes in place.
Mhm.
And you are in a club, you pour, and then you see lal with even $1, you tend to change your mind, but your mind has to be fixed. That fixation is what makes it civility, and you're dealing with community. Engagement should also be positive. So we'll be going through all that as we go along.
Yes.
Especially in terms of the clubs. I just brought in this because my good brother or son made a very good comment just now. And I just wanted to stress that so that we know what the Karma Club is going to lead to.
Mhm.
And these are really the package of the Karma Club as in addition to what is expected to do, but we'll align all that to the clubs so that it will really not be passive, but it will be active.
Absolutely, absolutely. And right, what you said, Hassan is from Sudan and the United States, and we're working to go ahead and bring the clubs to countries around the world. Like we said, our goal for 2021 is the active participation of people in all countries through our programs, through even the One Planet, One People Club program, especially through schools. So absolutely, Kumba, great. And you're making it happen. So we very much appreciate that. Okay, who else would like to go ahead and share? We're getting ready to close up, so we have time for, all right.
How many minutes more? Because
Yes.
I have to go collect my medications. I'm just
Sure. It's gonna be another 5-10 minutes, but if you do need to leave early, Kumba, that's not an issue. No problem at all. Your medication and your health is more important.
I also need to go, but I am going to watch the recording so I could hear all the great comments
Thank you,
after
Robert.
the fact.
Okay.
Thank you, folks, everybody, Kumba and gentlemen, everybody, Lyle, and we'll be in touch soon. Thank you so much.
Yeah, please do. We'll be more interactive in this month when we'll be dealing with the serums. So I'm sure we'll be seeing and talking more.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Okay, thank you, Robert.
Everybody. Okay, bye.
And Kumba, whenever you need to sign off, right? No problems. So,
okay.
And thank you. Thank you. So who'd like to share next?
Can I share?
Yeah, absolutely, Xavier.
Okay, so something you said, Lyle, that really I thought was really strong was the need to incorporate the One Planet clubs early on in the education system. So we don't, I think you had said, we don't grow an army of racists around the world. We kind of early education and kindness and civility is it's very super important, especially in today's world.
Absolutely. So on Saturday at 12 o'clock Eastern time, we're going to be going through how to set up a One Planet, One People club. And I know that all of you will be present for that, but we'll have other people as well. And our goal is every week to build on what we've done. And we're going to go through the different stages week by week by week for that club program. And again, right, you're going to learn how you can go ahead and become management, leadership, be the hero to others by growing your club and participating. So it's a really, really wonderful thing. And it's something that, before COVID-19, I was invited to present our programs to the Sustainability Department of the New York City Department of Education. And we went through a lot of the different programs that we have, and what they wanted after they looked, they thought a lot of the programs were wonderful, but what they wanted immediately was the ability to put the One Planet, One People Club program into the 1,500 schools in New York City. And unfortunately, what happened was COVID-19. Right? There are no schools that are really operating right now, right, on a direct basis. So once we get a little bit more of a handle on COVID-19, then we're gonna continue to go ahead and develop that line of action. Additionally, we were speaking to the Minister of Education in China, in Beijing, about adding the One Planet, One People Club program through the school system in China. And we all know what happened with COVID-19. So we'll be working on pursuing that again, actually in the next couple of months, so that we can have things set up in school systems for the fall. So if you're part of a school system, whether you're a student, whether you're a parent, whether you're an educator, administrator, right? Please get in touch with us about, how we can go ahead and help. Okay, because it's not just the club programs, it's the activities that the students can do in school, right? In their home, in their community, that are really going to strengthen their position, right? As students, as members of society, and alleviate and act as prevention for some of the issues that can develop later on in life through, mental health concerns. So this is a win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win all the way around. But what it takes is what Kumba said, and that is action, right? Don't just sit back and say, oh yeah, that's interesting. That sounds really good. I can see where that can make a difference. Get the app, get in touch, right? And we'll be more than happy to go ahead and work with you. It's all about the collaboration. So thank you, Xavier. Okay, appreciate that. Anyone
You're
else?
welcome.
Thank you. Anyone else like to share? Shreyas, Prama, you guys okay? You got to unmute.
I actually wanted to share. I definitely like the Project Hope. I feel like that's definitely a great idea for helping people with basically like mental health needs. I feel honestly right now, in the accessible colleges, especially in Brand, like my own college, I feel things like we offer we offer services to basically to help people in need. However, the thing is, what I've actually personally seen, like in my own experience, is that unfortunately, even though there are services out there, that's not enough for people to actually make changes in their lives. So the thing is, with programs like Project Hope, that can inspire people to basically take like steps to basically change themselves. I feel things like that idea is much more impactful than just giving like a service for therapy. Yeah, so I definitely feel Project Hope is definitely like the right way to go if you want to solve people like especially with mental health issues.
Right, and mental health issues can simply be, I feel anxious.
Exactly.
I feel a little bit stressed because of what's going on in the world. I feel a little bit of insecurity about my future. Those are all legitimate issues, right, that people feel. And the thing is that what we want to do is give them the ability to cope with those problems through a system. The system is the Karma Club and the daily planned acts of kindness and the other things that you can do. So it helps you build the relationships. Random acts of kindness, right? What they do is they make you feel good temporarily. But it dissipates very, very quickly. You need something where every day you can look at it and say, yeah, this is something I'm gonna go ahead and do today. No, today I'm not gonna go ahead and do this, right? But the more you go ahead and do, the more you're gonna wanna do. And the more you're able to level up in the Karma Club, because the Karma Club is the gamification of the positive aspects. So you can go ahead and do, you know, the first level is so simple. It's like 2 daily planned acts of kindness during the month, 4 engagements with other people into the Karma Club, 1 hour of volunteerism. I mean, everybody can go ahead and do that very, very, very easily. And then you level up, and then you're eligible for free gifts that we give away on a daily basis, right, to random people in the Karma Club. So the more you do, the greater your rewards. It's a metaphysical thing, it's a mental health thing, and it's a very tangible thing, right? Because, right, you do enough planned acts, right, your turn's gonna come around, right? What goes around comes around, and we're gonna get recognition and rewards through planned acts of kindness. So absolutely, thank you, Prama. You know, and again, Project COPE is available for families, for friends, for teams, and then on an institutional level for schools, for different departments, or the entire school system university. It's available for faith-based organizations. It's available for NPO, NGOs, for governments, and even for corporations, where they can put it in as part of their wellness program for their people. And, you know, it's not only for their staff, it can be for contractors, it can be for, you know, families and children, right? If they want to make it a little bit more universally available, right? That's a wonderful thing to do for stakeholders and shareholders on a corporate basis to make it part of your wellness program. So, you know, if you're part of any of those types of institutions or groups, right, get in touch. Let's hear from you. Okay, let's get it going. Okay, because it can really make the difference in people's quality of life. And what we want to do is we want to do prevention, intervention, so that things don't escalate, right? Because people have the ability to cope. And then we'll, right, with what goes on in the world, believe me, right? We all need that ability, okay? So I myself contracted COVID-19 in March, okay? So I've been dealing with the effects of it for the last month. And only now am I starting to return to, right, my normal energy levels, right? You know, where I'm able to go ahead and function the way that I want to. So even with a mild case of it, right, it was very difficult to deal with. And having a support system and having the ability to cope really, really, really made a difference. Okay, and actually a lot of people on this call made a big difference in my ability to stay happy and healthy during the time as well, because they all would check in with me and say, hey, are you alive? No. You know, how you doing? Okay, so we're here for you. And that's what you know, Project COPE does as well. So
I just wanted to add, oh, sorry. I just wanted to add something. So for example, like, you know, like, especially with mental health, like a lot of people like don't really understand that like, even like small things can actually add up. So for example, like, you know, back when I was in the freshman year, I was doing fine in school and stuff, but the thing was like I was basically managing both like a off-campus job, as well as managing like my academics. Now, like, honestly, although it was a bit stressful, and I never really took the steps to actually change that kind of like mentality. So unfortunately, eventually that like, you know, that stress just built on, and like it kept building and building. And eventually, I basically had to, you know, go into therapy with a counselor, just so I can go back on track. So unfortunately, the thing is, people don't understand that like even small things can actually add up. So actually, in the same way, if you actually want to if you actually want to stop things from happening, well, it's actually better if you actually look at the small stuff first. Because even though even though like you might not be doing major steps, even small steps can actually improve your life in such a big way.
And that's what we say about planned acts of kindness. In other words, they don't take hours to do each day. They can be something that you do in 5 minutes. Okay. And actually, as we sign off, we're going to do one of the planned acts of kindness. And I think most of you know what I'm going to talk about, right? Right. For that. But Shreyas, was there anything you wanted to go ahead and share as we wrap up?
Yeah, just very quickly. One of the things I like hearing about was you talking about implementing the One Planet, One People Club at PAC programs in prisons. Because I saw a bunch of articles recently about how COVID was spreading rapidly through prisons, and then I ended up doing some research recently on like how prisons work in India and abroad, and I was also checking out this show on Netflix called World's Toughest Prisons, where this host, he spends a lot of time in different prisons to show people what the conditions are like. And something that really spoke to me in that was one of the inmates said, this place is a place I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I've seen people who are innocent have been wrongly convicted, but they leave as hardened criminals. So that really told me that the criminal justice system is pretty much a mess all over the world.
Yes.
And that is my opinion of it. And like I've read about it in India, and I've read about it in other places too. So I do believe all over the world, the criminal justice system needs to be reformed in a way that takes human rights into better consideration.
Yes, and planned acts, by putting the daily planned acts of kindness in the Karma Club and doing recognition and rewards, we can change behaviors. Okay, and it's not just in the people who are doing, the people who are receiving, it's also the people who are watching the dynamics of how this unfolds over time, where they decide then to participate. So the thing is that, if we can go ahead and implement and influence and change one person's behavior, where they can then be the hero to themselves, their family, and their future, right? We've done something pretty good. And our goal is not just to have one success, but to have a lot more. So that's an area that we're going to talk about together. And so you can see how you can bring the programs into the prison systems in India and elsewhere, and you can make that difference and then be featured in a 16 things we all can do book. Okay, so thank you, Shreyas, for that. I want to thank everyone for taking the time out of their day to listen, to share about planned acts of kindness and the One Planet, One People movement and the quality of life programs that we have. But again, I want to urge you to do more than just listen. I want to urge you to be proactive. And there might be other people that that might be interested in learning more about what we do. So by all means, introduce them. That's part of the engagement program. Sign up through the app for the Karma Club, right? So that you can get recognition and rewards for making those recommendations, all right? And, again, we are all in this together. It's more than just words, right? We have a sticker that says words and actions matter, wham, okay? And that is what everything we do is based on. So you might have been listening to us talk and talk and talk for the last hour and a half. Okay, we appreciate that, but we also appreciate taking action. So get in touch, right? Tell us how you want to participate, what type of impact you want to make in the world, and we'll work with you on making it happen. Okay, so thank you for joining us. Be sure to join us every day in the month of April for Sirem, and share. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to end our talk with a very simple thing, a simple planned act of kindness that we can do, and that is a smile. We end our meetings right? With big smiles, because it's something that takes no time to do, but really can make a difference in our own behavior, in our own feelings, but also in the people that we're speaking to. Because, you know, we all get caught up in life's daily activities, and we don't always take the time to acknowledge other people or to pass along, right? You know, just a little behavior of encouragement. And if we all got into the practice of smiling just a bit more, okay? And what we say is we don't pay it forward, we play it forward, right? Doesn't take any money to go ahead and do this, right? But it's a behavioral thing that really makes a difference. So I want you all who are listening to smile. You can even wave, okay? Even though we might not see you this time, right? You might be able to do a video where you're doing a kindness pledge or doing something else, and we'll definitely see you then. So tune in tomorrow, tune in the next day, and let's go ahead and make it happen. One planet, one people, okay? And quality of life for all. Thank you all for participating, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Take care, stay well, right? Stay safe. Bye-bye.